Okay, folks, so welcome to Stock Chart of the Day. This is Bob Desmond over at the Contrarian Trader. And today's stock that we're going to review is Valeant Pharmaceuticals, symbol VRX. If you're not currently a member, please sign up for our 14-day free trial offer, or at least enter your email address, we hate spam too, and get these videos sent to you. All right, so what we're going to do here is what we normally do. We're going to do a deep dive, beginning with the monthly charts, drilling down through the weekly charts, then down to the daily charts. Why do we do that? It's a process that we call multi-period charting. You need to be able to appreciate where a stock has been to identify where it might go. What do I mean by that? Well, let's talk about Valeant. The headline news here is that we have Bill Ackman, founder of Pershing Capital. He is now out of his position. I think that's a good thing for the company. Why? The reason is that the company is eliminated from the headlines. Bill Ackman loves the headlines, and the company will come off of the headlines. Secondly, you have every mom and pop hedge fund out there that sells short. They're gunning for Bill Ackman. They want to have a piece of his hide. He's gone now. So that target that was on the stock is no longer there. That's just one contrarian's view. Now, does that mean I believe that the shares are going to rip higher in the coming days and weeks? Absolutely not. I think there's a ton of technical damage here. Let's walk through it. First, let's talk about where the shares have been and then where they might be going. All right, so prior to this big bull run up, we bottomed out the month of, and this is a monthly chart, the month of October 2008 at $5.70. We were, prior to that, in a downtrend channel. We rallied off of that low. We broke out of the upper band of the declining downtrend channel the month of March 2010. We consolidated, pulled back. This is what I always teach members. Expect a pullback of the breakout point. In this case here, it took 2 months to get there, but we got there. We retested the breakout point. The rest is history. The stock took off, and it was just an absolutely beautiful bull run. Now, this stock here, unlike many of the other stocks I go over, you usually get a lot of signals by the market telling you, hey, listen, you have either a divergence on RSI, not really, or on Stokes, no, not really. The shares just kept pressing higher. The only two signals I saw here that would have gotten you out of the position are one, and this is my favorite one. Let's update the chart. I'll show you exactly what I mean. Okay, so you can see here the month of July 2015, we broke out of a 2-month consolidation and we closed above a resistance level. And what I always teach members is that when you get a breakout above resistance and then the next week, month, day, whatever chart you're using, the shares break back down into that trading range, that is called a bull trap or a breakout point failure. That's a sell signal. Because in all probability, you're going to come back down to the bare minimum and retest prior support, which was at 219.45. The shares broke that support level. Now, that was sell signal number one. Sell signal number two was right here. When we broke down below the prior month's low, because if this month didn't have you suspicious that there was something going on at Valeant, then this month should have had you outright pitchfork in the street, going crazy that all of a sudden the shares were just breaking down to new monthly lows, something that they rarely did. So that was a signal of when to get in and when to get out. And granted, it didn't give you much of a signal here. Investors just got a club over the head and the rest is history. So the shares are now obviously on the opposite side of the mountain. They are making lower highs and lower lows. Every time we rally, we see topping tails or wicks on top of these candlesticks. That's a sign that you have sellers above, and those sellers are not mom and pop selling 100 shares. They're institutional investors. How do I know that? Volume. Mom and pop don't have 300 million shares a month to divest themselves of. Now, fast forward to where we might be going. We're going lower. If assuming that we close out this month below this key support level, we're coming down to a bare minimum. We're going to see single digits on Valeant. It's a foregone conclusion. And the next stop is going to be at around $9.60. If that breaks, we're coming down here, which is a far more attractive entry point. And for those who are long, I apologize, but it's what I see, and we're probably coming down to retest a 7 handle on Valeant. Now, ideally for me is that we get a full round trip and we retest this support level here at $5.70, which just happens to coincide if you extend out the prior upper band of the downtrend channel. It coincides right with that point right there at $5.70. So that's in all probability where these shares are going. So we have a considerable amount of distance to go between now and then. So is there a trade to be had here? Well, let's go to a weekly chart. Maybe this is a short-term trade. After all, we have Ackman out now. So the weekly chart, RSI ugly, Stokes ugly. I see no hope there. Last week we broke down below key support. Volume is still high. I think we're going lower. I see no trade to the long side here on the weekly chart. To the daily chart. Now we gap down today. Might we see a rally to fill the gap? Sure. I wouldn't risk my money on that. Volume was very, very high. What were we down on a percentage basis? About 10% on the day. RSI rolling over. Stokes are going to roll over. I think we're going lower in the short term and in the long term on Valeant. 2-hour chart. All right, so the reason why I wanted to come down to the 2-hour chart is to see what kind of a consolidation, if any, that we had. And we have one here. So we may see a rally. I caught this hunch from the daily chart, and this pretty much confirms it. You may see a rally on Valeant, maybe up to fill this gap at 1150, maybe up to 1255 last week's highs. But after that, I think the shorts are going to lean into it once again, and I would fade that rally. And that's it, folks. I hope you got some value out of this video. If you like them and want them in the future, enter your email address anywhere on the website. We hate spam too. And don't forget to leave a comment on whatever social media platform you are watching this on, and follow me there. Everybody have a great evening and be well.